Okay, I've been wanting to do this video for months, just haven't had a chance to do it. Talk about some UV reactive stuff out of West Texas. I mean, out of West Texas we get these pieces of geodes. We get some nice little seam agate stuff here. Lots and lots of different types of agates out there. Big old chunks of agates that are out there. We get lots of these West Texas geodes. I love these things. I got a few buckets of those. Then we get stuff like this. It's geodes with a lot of agate around the outside. Very, very pretty piece here. And one of the things about UV reactive stuff, especially in West Texas, is not all agates are UV reactive, and just because it's UV reactive doesn't mean it's an agate. So as you can see here, we kind of have a big hodgepodge of different stuff. And I have my handheld UV checker. But I also have my small one. I'm going to use my small one. I think it's a bit brighter for this one. So I'm going to turn this light off, and I'm going to show you. We have different agates here. Some other things, even this is an agate, and some things are just not UV reactive. I'm going to turn that off. I'm going to turn this on. Okay, so as you can see, this piece over here is very UV. It's very UV reactive. And this one here is extremely UV reactive, even with some orange in there. So get yellows and oranges. This one's got a seam right down the middle of it. It pokes out through the outside. It's pretty cool. This piece of quartz over here, kind of boring, nothing there. Same thing here with this quartz here, nothing here. This whole piece is UV reactive. So very, very cool. This one here, this geode here, nothing there. A little bit on the outside in white, but nothing. But I saw a little bit of green there, but nope. So then we have this one here, which is an agate. As you see, it's not UV reactive at all. Very interesting. We got this one here. So nothing here at all. Kind of interesting. We got some little small guys there, and then we got this big guy here in the corner. So this big guy here in the corner, see, the whole piece is UV reactive. This is still a raw piece. It hasn't been polished, hasn't been cleaned, except for just rinsed off to get some of the loose dirt off of it. But so that's one of the fun parts of things. So let me put the light back on. So we'll look at this bunch next. These are partially polished. See, partially. We still need to do some final polishing on these, but so they got some little bit of shine on them. We're gonna do a little saw marks we're gonna take out and that kind of stuff. But so this is what these look like, not underneath the UV light. And I will turn on the UV light and turn off the other lights. Do that, do this, and see, kind of boring. No real UV reactive things. Kind of boring browns. Nothing there. Nothing there. Let's see. So what's interesting is you can get very pretty agates that are not UV reactive at all. See, these are all coming up browns. No bright oranges, not even on the outsides. So see, we get these, and they're kind of like, these are also agates from West Texas. And you get, even on the outside, see, that's one of those agates. But see, all these are kind of, if you're looking for UV reactive material, these wouldn't get you where you want to go, because they're not UV reactive. So let me bring out another bag, which I think you'll find interesting. Okay, so now we got this batch here. And these are also not polished. These are not polished at all. These are just straight cuts. So we'll look at these underneath the black light, the UV light, and you'll see a difference in these compared to those. So let's turn off the light and turn on the light. And there's dendrites in there. So what you'll notice in this batch is almost all of them are UV reactive. See, this one's not. Got a little bit of orange in there. Very orangey. A little bit of orange right there. And we get ones like these. Little dendrites right there. Very cool materials. The whole pieces. That's that other piece of that dendrite. See, this one glows good in orange. This one's kind of boring. Got some green in there. This one's brown and orange. But when you look at agates, you can do this from the outside. And if you UV check your agates before you cut, sometimes you get an idea of what's going on inside before you even cut them. It's kind of cool, that bright spot in the end. So based on the composition of the agate, that orange down there, amazing. Based on the composition of the agate, it may be UV reactive or not. So it just depends on the composition of what it is. And you get greens and you get oranges. So you get greens and oranges. Some are very bright orange, you know, and some are very cool greens. So that's that bunch. As you can see, you really can't tell what they are. That's the outside. These have been uncleaned, really uncleaned. Kind of get what you get. So you can't tell what's UV reactive, and these, dude, seriously, I need to spend some time polishing these. It's in my list of things to do. But this gives you an idea of sometimes you can't tell what the outside's going to look like compared to what the inside's going to look like. So as you notice, most of these are UV reactive. So that may be something that when you start cutting stones, before you cut, you hit them with the UV light to see if they're UV reactive, and maybe then you decide to say, you know what, I got something that looks kind of cool underneath the UV light, so I'm going to just stick it underneath the UV light, like these 3 pieces, and I'm going to display them like these, like this, underneath a UV light. So instead of cutting the stone and saying, okay, I'm just going to cut it, just display it underneath a UV light instead of a case, because I actually have a big case that has a big UV light in there that you can see the stones that are reactive all the time. So kind of cool. So you really can't tell from just looking at the stone what it's going to give you. It can look very pretty and not be UV reactive, or it can look kind of ugly and be very UV reactive. So when you're out looking for stones and you're finding stuff, you may want to take a UV light with you to see if it is or not, because some ugly stones you may want to keep and some you may want to get rid of. So this is all West Texas stuff, all West Texas agates and some geodes and stuff, and some are UV reactive and some aren't. So, okay, bye.